And we have an official upset alert from the Czech Republic. Karolina Muchova in the Chinese capital, Beijing, takes the first set from Aryna Sabalenka. That's right, guys. That's a numeric lock. We'll get to that in one moment. But first, we're going to head back to the United States, Rancho Santa Fe, where Kathreine Sebov from Canada, Alicia Parks fans do not want to hear this, but she makes it to the quarterfinals after being the underdog in all of her matches. She takes out Juleita, one of the youngest teenage phenoms right now in the United States. Watch out for her, guys. Go check out the short. I gave you a short of her. She is going to be big time. Lauren Moneyline Davis is back. She also makes the quarterfinals after taking out Shariko and Shano. She looks very good. Listen, when you're coming back off of injury, go get it wherever you can get it. And Lauren Davis looks solid, ladies and gentlemen. She makes her quarterfinals as well as we head back to China. Mukova takes the first set. Now, listen, guys, a lot of fans, the public, they're backing Mukova and what do I say? Muchova, if you're from the eastern part of the world. I say it all the time. You know what that means. She takes the first set in a tiebreak. How does she do it? Well, starts with her good variety, of course, guys. Listen, doing pretty darn good, guys, when it comes to the winners, keeping just hanging in there in the pocket with Sabalenka. More winners actually in the first set. If you take a look at the unforced errors, you're going to make a lot of mistakes with Sabalenka. She plays so fast, so strong, and aggressive. But it just comes down to just keeping your mental composure. She did a great job of that in the first set. And Sabalenka, here's the thing that scares me about Sabalenka. When she loses a set, she comes back stronger and harder. So she's always someone you want to watch out for. If she drops the first set, she's going to come back and probably win the second set and force the third. And right now, guys, she's getting it done in the second set. Looks like we're headed to a third set. But, ladies and gentlemen, let's head to Hong Kong, where we have McCartney Kessler coming off of that Cleveland championship where she took out Beatrice Haddad and Potapova, where she had to come back. Listen, we like McCartney Kessler. I think she's got a bright future. Ranked 63rd on the world tour, but actually she dropped to 65th, taking on Ajla, who is, she's outside of the top 100, trying to make one last push to see if she can get into that Australian Open draw. But listen, guys, she's going to get a wild card anyways. Early on in this match, guys, we got another numeric lock here. McCartney Kessler came out and won the first three service games after being down love 30 on her first service game. And she's playing she was down love 30, then she started to speed Ajla up, playing very fast. And she was hitting winners where Ajla was just nowhere near the ball. But I say this all the time, a person that's fast and athletic, you can isolate that speed and use it against them. How? Well, you have to go stronger and deeper. That's right, guys. And that's exactly what Isla did. She went to the power, and there's a huge power difference between these two ladies. When she went to the power, McCartney Kessler started to make a lot of mistakes, and then it happened. She would end up calling for the physio, her neck, her back, I don't know, something like that. She would actually leave the court for an off court physio treatment. She would come back and Isla would take the first set. After dropping the first three service games, Isla would win six straight. How did she do it? Now, listen, McCartney started fast. She was playing very aggressive in terms of her speed, and she was hitting a lot of winners where Isla just could not cover the ground. However, guys, Isla just dominating the first serves and the first serves won. And now the second serve was a bit sloppy for both ladies, but McCartney's double faults did not help as Isla takes the first set as the underdog. And McCartney looks like she's going to retire. Let's head back to Beijing. Some beautiful people in Beijing. I have to get to China one day. Looks like a beautiful country, ladies and gentlemen. We talk about having a fifth Grand Slam there. Is it possible? I think it's possible, but we're going to have to cut something short, whether it's clay season, it can't be grass season. It's not going to be the first stretch of the North American tour. It's just not going to happen. We're not getting rid of Miami. We're not getting rid of the Indian Wells, Charleston. It's going to have to be Rome or Madrid. It's just going to have to be, or it's just not going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. Sabalenka takes a second set after struggling in the first set. Mukova takes a very long break, but she comes back And again, I say it all the time. When Sabalenka loses a set, she comes back and she plays a lot more aggressive. I love her style, just like her serving mentality. If she can't get her first serve in play, why am I going to reduce the speed on the second serve and give you a free opportunity to tee off and score a point? My objective is to get my serve and play as strong and fast as aggressive as possible. And that's how she plays. If you win a set off Sabalenka, she comes back, she plays even harder and stronger. She plays more carefree, more nonchalant. And that scares me, ladies and gentlemen. Sabalenka takes the second set, and we are now headed to a third and final set. How did she do it, ladies and gentlemen? We'll just take a look there. Much better serving, getting her first serves in play. That's right, guys. Winning the first serves. And the reality here is the winner differential. Again, that stands out. Reducing her mistakes and just keeping Mukova on the back foot, speeding her up, making her make mistakes. Now, in the first set, Mukova did a very, very good job of pinning Sabalenka deep in the corners, forcing her to come across court. That's where she made a lot of mistakes. Now, I want to talk about Osaka, ladies and gentlemen. This is a juicy video. We're covering a lot here. Osaka released just a post on social media. Someone called her a fluke. And I say this time and time again. This channel, it's about fair criticism. We're talking about the matches and the player's game. But what happens a lot, especially on social media, is you have fans that get upset for whatever reason and they take it personal. They start taking personal shots at these players. And I think it's just not classy, right? These players are all amazing. They're all very talented. And I think Danielle Collins said it best. If you think you can do what I do, why don't you get out here and show me? And yes, the players see this. We know they come to the channel. And the reality here is this is why we need to give these players their flowers. Osaka's a four-time Grand Slam champion in the Serena Williams era, guys. That's right. She beat Serena Williams. In that era, if you were going to win a slam, you had to play very skilled and talented players. Players that had the range, the shot making ability from all areas of the court. Nowadays, and I said this previously, I think the top 10, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, destroys this top 10 because they were a lot more technical. Osaka's one of the cleanest ball strikers. And when it comes to form, her technique, textbook, her serve, her backhand, her forehand. Osaka, and you have to understand this, the reason she walked away from the game is because of her integrity. Right? There's just a lot of things that go on that I felt Osaka wasn't okay with. She wasn't cool with. And she's okay with walking away from the game because that's how classy of a person she is. She's never really played a long, grueling schedule, and she still has four slams to show for it. You guys don't realize how hard that is. Look, I cover tennis. There's players that get in their mid 20s and 30s and just make one championship for their career. They win their first title in their upper 20s or 30s. It's extremely difficult to win four. It's difficult to win one main tour title. Now, we're talking about four slams, and this is why we're going to pivot to Coco as well. Coco doesn't get the respect she does because you have these haters that don't understand how good she is, right? We look at Coco and we think, oh, she should be doing that, right? She should be winning this. She should win every time because that's how good she is. And the haters don't realize you're actually giving her a compliment. Serena Williams said it best. I was never that good at 15. Of all the ladies on tour, no one's had a better teenage career than Coco. And she's just 20, right? She's already made two Slam Championship final appearances. She's won one of them, seven titles. Coco is amazing. Osaka's amazing. And what happens is people, a lot of times they expect them to win every match and they don't realize that tennis is really about form. Osaka's not there yet, guys. We saw it with Zhang Shui. We see it with all these players that come back. It takes a couple years to get your rhythm. You can't walk away from the game and expect to come back and be great like that. What Svitolina did earlier this year is amazing. It doesn't happen that way. It takes a lot of time because the game is evolving. It's changing so fast. And I just want to say, Osaka, look, we love you here at the channel. Don't let the few haters upset you, because the reality here is we all know social media now, it's full of AI, it's full of bots. A lot of times you're not even talking to real people, you're talking to robots, right? And the reality here is, for those guys and men and women, for those of you that come to the channel and show love to these players, you show love to me, we all appreciate it, we love it. We're here to give these players their flowers. We're here to cover tennis honestly, with integrity, and just critique the game, right? And in a positive light, but in an honest light. But at the end of the day, if you think any of these players are scrubs, why don't you get out there on the court and you play one on one with them? You trust me, you would not want to. Because I tell you all the time, Osaka might get one of those forehands past me, and I'm pretty good, guys. Tennis in a minute. Get your popcorn. Muchova, Sabalenka, third set. Osaka, we love you. Coco, we love Karolina, Aryna, Iga. We love all these ladies. They're all amazing. We'll see you for the conclusion of Sabalenka and Muchova, as well as Mira and Paula Badosa coming up. We'll be right back.